a couple of White Sox notes. Probably one that I find mildly disturbing that we had a 5 second conversation on before we got
Mm.
on here is the fact that somehow there was some pre-arbitration numbers traded between Lucas Giolito and the team of $7.45 million and $7.4 million to avoid arbitration. Um, then
That would be $50,000.
yes,
That
fifty
is
thousand
less
dollars.
less than 1% of what that contract would be worth, is what they were
But
squabbling
they,
over.
they
And
couldn't get there.
they couldn't get there, couldn't
So
find a
then
way.
they're going to arbitration, and the number is 7.5 and 7.3
I
then.
think that's standard procedure. Like you
Yeah.
just move back off of your original offers, just
Yeah.
kind of
So
assuming you're going to meet in the middle, just to position yourself for argument's sake. But it's a little disturbing that the Sox couldn't pony up the $50,000 to
yeah.
just appease
The,
your ace right now, and kind of
this is kind of basically like, should we be surprised though after what we just witnessed in the CBT with ownership and things like
yeah.
that? Because one of the popular theories is this was just um, the White Sox trying to get a placeholder in place and before they sign him to a long term deal, but you know it's not gonna much like what we just saw in the CBT. It's not gonna start the negotiations off on a good foot. That you got to spend some time in the legal baseball system going to arbitration to, and I'm sure he'll get the 7.5 million. His numbers dictated. So
Yeah, he was upset. I mean, the
yeah,
interview with him, he used the word upset. He said it was
yeah,
upsetting. It was disturbing. It was frustrating. And that's kind of not where you want your ace pitcher's mindset to be, 2 weeks before the season starts.
yeah. I mean, the thing that is even more disturbing about it is I just mentioned they are only have $183 million.
Yeah.
They've got $50 million of room. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it was gonna, and even if they went over by $50,000, they'd probably have to pay like $10. So I mean, it's like,
Well,
it's
yeah,
like there's no reason not to just be like, other than
they're arguing on principle. Essentially, they don't want to set a precedent
yes,
to capitulate to
yeah,
even their most
exactly,
beloved players. But it's just a weird hardline stance to take at a weird time with a player that just doesn't deserve to be treated like that. So
yeah. I mean, at the same time, like it's both sides not wanting to give in when you're arguing over $50,000. So
yeah,
I'm not saying Lucas Giolito should have took $50,000 less, but and I'm definitely not saying the White Sox shouldn't have given him $50,000
mhm.
more. But the fact that you couldn't even meet in the middle and
And
say
you're that close.
25 and call it a day, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
I mean, should we do should Sox fans start a GoFundMe to bridge the gap, like to
I
get
mean,
this taken care of?
now it'll just go and he'll get 7.5 and the Sox are out 50 more thousand than they would have been if they just had agreed to it, which is actually the irony of the whole thing. So good for them.
I heard some hyperbole over this, of course, on Chicago Sports Talk Radio this afternoon, the Spiegel and Perkins show.
Yeah.
They went to such lengths to say this reminded them of the spat between the Cubs and Chris Bryant, the service time
Oh,
manipulation that he
right.
was upset about for the next 6 years, essentially. I can't believe it would be to that level, because that's they're talking about $20 million in his last year of arbitration up to free agency that has now paid him, what was it, 180 million? Is that what he made? So
Yeah.
we're this is costing Giolito, $50,000 or $200,000, whatever it is. So it's not nearly to that level, but to create a bad business atmosphere between your players and your organization it's never great. I don't think it's necessarily debilitating or means that Giolito is going to have spite towards the White Sox from here on out and is going to do everything to get the fuck out as soon as he can. I think that would be hyperbole, but that's where some shock jocks were going. I actually love Spiegel and Perkins, but I thought that was a little bit ridiculous and a little disingenuous on their part. But wanted to throw it in there just for some
Yeah.
hyperbole for the day.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as they give him a fair, contract, all things will be forgiven and forgotten. But
That's the thing. If they, they'll settle tomorrow or whenever the arbitration case is heard, and it'll never be never come up again. He's, Giolito's pissed off today, but
yeah,
he might be fine right now.
yeah,
3 hours later, who knows? So
right.
Word Hole Media.